Good evening, Manchester, and welcome to BARLEY'S World, Manchester 1968, for another discussion or for another topic. I've been thinking about this today, and I thought, I'll come on here and do a video on if you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would you tell them? So if you could go back in time and talk to your younger self, what advice would you give? It's just a bit of fun. It's nothing serious. I think sometimes you have these kind of like YouTube channels or whatever it may be. It's kind of nice to get people thinking, get everyone cerebral going, rather than just like people sitting there listening to whatever. So I thought, let's try and get on there and try and make it motivational, something, evocative. Today's backdrop of music is by David Lang. Very chorally, very visceral. Or as I say in Italian, assolutamente bella. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get into it. So imagine going back in time to meet your younger self, circa 15, 16, ready to leave secondary school to go in a big wide world. What would you tell them? Would you say it's hard? Having to deal with like basic things which are basic to us, but which will be like massive to them. Bills, getting a flat, interviews, try to get a job out of a career. So many things we know now, but we could go back in time and tell our younger self. Luckily we don't have to, otherwise we scare them to death, do you know what I mean? But yeah, what would you say? What would I say? Talking to my younger self now. So I'm in a one-to-one with my younger self, and he's going to ask me all these questions about what it's like in the big wide world. And I think I'd say something like, number one, don't worry. Things always sort themselves out as long as you make the right choices. Number two, choose your friends carefully. Choose your friends carefully. Some will come and go because they're only on your journey for a certain period of time, or just say they're on your journey and some get on a stop and some get off on a certain stop. So just watch your friends. And if you have good friends, admire and respect them, but ultimately be a leader and follow your own dreams and your own aspirations, because only you know who you are. Don't do drugs, even though we've all been there, but don't do drugs if you can avoid it. It's not worth the heartache. Keep out of trouble with the police. Keep away from nonsense and negativity. Travel. Travel's so important. I wish I would have done a lot more of it back in the day, but I intend to do some travel. But travel. Be proud of who you are. Be the best you can be. Do you know what I mean? And look at life as a wonderment of excitement and adventure. And there's going to be times in your life where things aren't going to go according to plan. But who says plans are always right? You can make a plan every day, because plans change every day. Remember that. Yeah, you tell them it's going to be dangerous out there. There's some shady people out there and shady situations you get involved in. Uncomfortable surroundings. But as long as you've got belief in yourself, faith in yourself, and be brought up correctly, you'll be fine. So they're the kind of things I tell myself. Try and get to university. Follow your passions. Do what's required to make yourself happy. And keep life stupidly simple. I think sometimes we put too much stuff in our life that we don't even need it. We just think we need it because we try to keep up with the Joneses, whoever the Joneses are. But don't follow anyone. If you can't find a path to go down, create your own path. If you can't find a door to open, build your own door. They're the kind of things I'd be telling my younger self as a 15, 16-year-old. That's what I'd be saying to them. But the most important thing is, I don't have to go back and tell anyone anything. But I can tell myself now, that's what I can do. like you can do. So any young people who may see this video and think, well, you know, whatever and whatever, this could be for you, you youngsters. Think about what you want to do, but don't stress it. Don't worry. Keep everything in balance. Get to the gym, watch your diet, read a book. Show respect for yourself, love yourself, respect yourself. And be very, very appreciative of all your achievements, don't care how big or how small. And another thing, slightly digressing, how important is reading positive books and positive affirmations? Are they really that important in life? How important are they? I mean, I'm someone who's always read a lot of positive books over the years. My first books were by Norman Vincent Peale back in the late 80s, early 90s. You can if you think you can, and enthusiasm makes a difference. I've read loads of them, but you get to a point sometimes where once you've read them, you've read them. It's all about action. There's no point in reading all these books if you haven't put anything into effect. But yeah, I've read them and the affirmations, and I still do to this day. But I also believe that action, putting things into practice, is what really makes things happen. I don't know what you feel about positive books and positive affirmations, but that's my take on things. Because life to me is always, the glass is always half full for me. But that may be in my DNA, that may be from the way I was raised or how I look at life. Everyone's different. Some people need to read positive books and some people don't because it's upbeat all the time. But going back to my original topic, luckily for us, we don't have to go back and tell our younger self anything because it can't be done. But we can tell ourselves stuff today because that can be done with regards to certain things to make your life better as we go into the next stage of our lives. It's never too late to try new things. It's never too late to look at life. It's never too late to make adjustments. Sometimes in life, you stumble across things unexpectedly through serendipities, happy accidents. It's like last night, I was watching this programme last night about tennis, Althea Gibson, and it just amazed me what she had to go through to be the first black woman to win at Wimbledon and also the US Open. Althea Gibson, great documentary, it's worthwhile watching. And it's like, you know what she had to go through, and she ended up being skinned and all the rest of it. But the obstacles she had to encounter just to play tennis, and how much we were involved in tennis from the 1920s and the early 1800s. There was a kid from Jamaica who was like a really, really good tennis player who taught Althea Gibson. So tennis was going on back in the day. All this stuff we didn't even know about, how good we've been at tennis and other sports, man. Just gets hidden away from us, you know, but it is what it is. But there's a comment what Althea Gibson made, or a quote, shall we say. And the quote goes something like, if you remember rightly, the quote was, what she said is, she said it's vitally important for black people to do things on an individual level. In other words, don't do it on a gang or group mentality. Be successful as a black person on an individual level, because people will accept you then voluntarily. It's when we ram things down people's throats, that's when they take exception. So in other words, if you're going to do anything or achieve anything, don't worry about the crowd behind you or for your community. Do what you need to do for yourself first. Be successful as an individual first. Worry about the rest of your community after. Do what you need to do first. Then once you're in a position of prominence, then start worrying about all the other issues, then bringing more of your own kind on board. But you've got to do you first and foremost. I know I've slightly digressed there, but it was like the documentary really, it stoked up some things in me last night, hence why I'm probably doing this video now. Althea Gibson, first black lady or black person to win Wimbledon twice and also the US Open. But like I said, we don't have to go back in time. We're in time now. So we can tell ourselves now what we can do. But also remember as well, everything we do in life, people are watching, good, bad or indifferent. People are watching. there's going to be young people there who are watching us as we go about our daily lives, looking for inspiration, even if we know them or don't know them. So we're the inspiration for a lot of people. So watch your conduct. Do you know what I mean? Everything you do, just remember, people are always watching. Even when you think, no one's paying attention, every little thing you do in your life, people are watching. So just remember, set a standard, not just for you, but for that person just watching you who's coming out of the supermarket or crossing the road, or you may be running or walking or be in the gym or doing something really, really just to you trivial. But to that young person, they'll be thinking, wow, look at that him or her, look what they're doing. So remember, we're always in the spotlight. The world's a stage. Remember that. So there we go. I hope you like the music. Again, David Lang, beautiful. Check him out. Choral music and really, really visceral, emotional music. David Lang, beautiful. Assolutamente bella, absolutely beautiful. So there we go. If you could go back in time and talk to our younger self, what would you say? If we could talk to ourselves right now, what would we say? For tomorrow. If you like what you've heard this evening, like button, subscribe. I think that'll do. Thanks for listening. Hope you've enjoyed it. Any comments would be much appreciated. But there we go. And as I kind of switch off now, this music just like drifts over me. Remember, within every minute or every moment, we can make a change. And problems are a blessing, because they're the biggest motivators for change. And on that note, I'm out. See you later.